Okay, I frequently get asked the setup I use for trolling, obviously because of the success rate. I use Barclay 15 or 20 nylon. I like the red XTS because it's a very supple line. However, when you're tying on hooks and swivels, you do need that extra twist, so I usually put 7 twists on before I lock the knot off, otherwise it just pulls back through. In swivels I use Sakuma number 2 swivels because they're obviously they're clip-ons and they're very quick. So I'll put one of these on the main line with the sliding lead above it, and then when I unwind the traces that I want to put on for trolling, I just clip them on. When I tie the traces for trolling, I finish them with a double barrel swivel, so that clips onto that, so there's 2 swivels acting on the trace, so it avoids tangles. Basically anything in around 4 to 6 inches is an ideal eel type lure for pollock trolling and for cod. However, sidewinders are the best for cod. I've found the Gummy Max, these things in 2 different sizes there, they're both very successful trolling lures, time proven, and I wouldn't look past them. They're very, very good. I always put a smaller lure a couple of feet up from the trolling lure, and these Muppets, which I buy in bags of probably 100 or 1,000, I'm not sure what's in there, they're perfect for it. I'll mount them onto a small hook like that, and that'll be 2 feet up the line from the main trolling lure, and it acts as an attractant. Right, on the end of the trace, the trolling trace, a double barrel ball bearing swivel. Now there'll be 6 feet of line to the next knot. When you're tying the next knot to join onto the trace, remember to leave a good long tail, about 1 foot long. It won't be that long when you're finished. Remember, when you're tying your joining blood knot, to always use 7 twists if you're using a really soft nylon to stop it pulling through, and always wet your knot so it doesn't heat when you're drawing it in tight. Okay, so in this particular rig, from that first thing, I've got a Muppet there, and then a couple of feet down the line, and I've got a sidewinder shad. Well, it's not a shad, it's just a sidewinder. Sidewinders are a weighted lure, so even though you're using this as a trolling trace with a trolling lead ahead of the swivel, you've got to bear in mind when your trolling lead hits the bottom to lift it up a little bit further, because this guy's going to swim lower down, but not right on the bottom. Here you have a bit of sponge, and now I've got 2 trolling traces on. When you want to use these, it's just simply a case of taking that little swivel and then unwinding it up and clipping it onto your main line. Dead easy, really convenient, saves a lot of time when you're on the water. Alright, how to make a trolling lead. You take a piece of wire, in this case it's a bit of wire out of an armoured cable, but the copper wire out of 2.5 twin and earth is the ideal size for it. Get it as straight as you can, and then with a small hole drilled in your desk or wherever you're able to do it, you slide the copper pipe over the top so that the wire is now central to the pipe. Now I would normally heat this up first, which I'm going to do just to make sure there's no condensation in the pipe. And if you don't do this, you will regret it, because that wire will spit all over, the lead will spit all over you when you cast the lead in the pan. That's all you need, just to take the chill off the pipe. Okay, I'll set that lead back over there. Right, now I'm going to pour the lead, so I'm going to have to switch this off. Okay, I'll just filled that up with lead now, like that. This will give me a weight of somewhere around about 4 or 5 ounces, which is all you need for trolling. I'm just going to let the lead harden up, and I'll pull the wire out. Okay, so here's the cast trolling lead. As you can see in the end, there's a hole where I've pulled the wire through, and the same in the other end. You've got a hole right through the lead. So what you do with this is you put this over your main line and slide it down to the first swivel with the clip on it. Then you clip your trolling trace onto that. If you strike any fish, this lead is well out of the way, and you usually find if you're using a 25 or 30 pound main line and you're using a 15 pound trace, that when you do get hanked in your snap, you'll always bring this lead back and the quick snap swivel. Okay, when your lead's cool, you can take a Stanley knife and just trim the lead on the top and just countersink the little holes in the lead just slightly, just to take any burrs off it so it slides on your line without damaging your line.